Ladies are working hard for their money at the box office. Our film guy Erik Childress is here with a rundown of woman power, starting with success this summer that we saw with Maleficent.
Yeah, Maleficent, Angelina Jolie's sort of pet project, turned into a huge movie for Disney this summer. It was the second most profitable film of the summer.
And what about Lucy?
Lucy, Universal moved this movie up in their summer rotation. They moved it up a couple of weeks, and Scarlett Johansson still having sort of the heat from the Avengers and Captain America, and it turned into a success for them too, over $100 million at the box office.
A film that we talked about earlier this year, The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, I mean, this was, the young adult story of the summer. Shailene Woodley had Divergent earlier this year, which turned into a minor franchise success for Lionsgate. And this movie, $12 million budget, grossed over $270 million worldwide. The box office. Ladies really flocked to that movie.
Why do you think the women are doing so well?
Well, I mean, look at last year. I mean, last year we had sort of an unprecedented year where, The Hunger Games obviously is this big franchise, but it's a franchise, spearheaded by a strong female protagonist that Jennifer Lawrence plays, and that turned out to be the #1 film at the box office in the U.S. And also, it might be an animated film, but Frozen was a gigantic success for Disney, and some of the Maleficent success can be attributed to that because it was sort of, they were right on top of each other, and it's just sort of a nice thing to see that there is room in Hollywood for ladies to have a success like this.
Do you think that film studios are taking note of this and there'll be changes?
I hope they are. I mean, sometimes it's just an anomaly, sometimes they say, well, it's a passing fancy and whatnot. But, later this year, The Hunger Games Mockingjay is going to be coming out. It's going to be the #1 film of 2014. So, obviously they're looking at a lot of these young adult franchises where, females are front and center. If I Stay recently, Divergent, Fault in Our Stars, for example. So, they are taking note that there is room and an audience for, female-centric films.
One of my favorites this year, definitely Belle. Backed by a woman, stars a woman, and it's a terrific film.
A limited release from Fox Searchlight that ended up, just on only 500 screens, but ended up doing 10 million, and that's a success story.
It's worth your time, really, because it's historic. It's based on a true story.
Yeah. And we're going to see a lot of films throughout the end of the year that have strong female characters, or at least interesting female characters, and that's something we want to hope from Hollywood, that it's certainly a male-driven business. You're going to get 3-4 movies with the male-driven stars compared to female ones, but maybe hopefully this is we're going to see it rolling downhill a little bit, and we're going to see this start happening.
So momentum. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.